in the machinery for certain. So I apologize that we couldn't go on the 17th, Constitution Day, which is the only way that I remember 17 September now. And it's been a week, hasn't it? I mean, this gives us a chance to catch up a little bit. It's just been one thing after another after another. We start the week, I just want to show you this headline. Donald Trump just landed at LAX. Traffic coming to standstill in downtown LA and Beverly Hills. Oh no, traffic is coming to a standstill in all of LA. When did you ever hear breathless headlines like this when Obama would shut down a city because he was coming in for a big fundraiser? And did you notice where Trump had big fundraisers? And make no mistake, these were big fundraisers. The cheapest ticket was $5,000 a plate. $5,000 to $100,000, and he sold the place out in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego. A lot of California, even Democrats, are realizing that they have no choice. The Democrats have gone so far left, they've fully embraced communism, they've embraced Sharia, they've embraced gun confiscation, they've embraced confiscatory taxes, that even Dem donors aren't donating to Democrats. So we see headlines like that, and then also we're seeing all of a sudden Democrats care about crowds. Whenever Trump would have a fundraiser, have a rally, and there'd be 10,000 people inside and 20 to 25,000 people outside, well, that was no big deal to Democrats. They didn't care about that. All they cared about was whether or not they could go splody head because they hate the Donald so much. But now, Lizzie draws 5,000 people in Washington Square, and oh my goodness, can you believe it? All of a sudden, Democrats care about crowds. Liz, she drew almost, it looked like a Trump rally. Liz Warren spoke to over 10,000 people. It looked like a Trump rally. Now all of a sudden, Democrats care about crowd size. Unbelievable. After minimizing the crowd size and by flat out lying, showing a picture at 7 in the morning of the inauguration and saying, yeah, you know, not as many people came to see Trump be sworn in as went to see Obama. Yeah, did they show the crowd at noon? No, they showed the crowd at 7 a.m. This is how they lie. They don't even spin anymore. They're flat out lying to you. If you're watching the mainstream media for anything other than opposition research, if you think that you're getting any information from ABC, NBC, CBS, MSLSD, Clinton News Network, you're nuts. You're absolutely being brainwashed. You're indoctrinated. If you believe what these people are telling you, if that's the reality in which you are living in a parallel universe. You're living in Bizarro America, where everything is backwards. Up is down, left is right, and right is wrong in their world. We really are living in two different Americas. It's unbelievable. These people, they think he commits crimes every single day. You know, if you believe what these posts, this is what these people think. Donald Trump commits crimes every single day. He doesn't need to be impeached. He needs to be imprisoned because he commits crimes every single day. Every single day, they think he commits crimes. Meanwhile, people who are really committing crimes, like violating the National Secrets Act, like committing sedition, like committing treason, that's just, your complaints are just politics. They couldn't care less about the rule of law. An abortionist has 2,246 preserved aborted fetuses in his house. That was scientific research. Yeah, can you imagine if a mortician had 2,246? I think that was the number, 2,246. I'm in the ballpark anyway, if that's not the exact number. But do you think if a mortician had that many corpses, embalmed corpses in his house, they'd say it was just scientific research? Of course not. Because they don't care about the rule of law. They don't care about rules at all. Look at the three-ring circus that Humpty Lumpty tried to run. First, the subpoena. First, Corey Lewandowski says, yeah, I'll come in, I'll answer your questions, no problem. Senate intelligence, House intelligence, Mueller committee. He went voluntarily to all three. Request for documents from the House Judiciary Committee, voluntarily handed over. He said he'd come in voluntarily. Oh no, because no Nadler wanted to say he'd been subpoenaed. We've subpoenaed! We've subpoenaed Corey Lewandowski! We've subpoenaed him! As if that means anything. The guy said he'd come in voluntarily. You subpoenaing him is just proving that you're a dick. And then the subpoena says 10 o'clock and they didn't start the hearing till 1:15. Lewandowski had no legal obligation to be there. None. None. The only reason he was there is because he was voluntarily there. He was within his rights to pack up and leave because he was there at 10 o'clock and they weren't, and they didn't modify the subpoena to change the time, which is the legal requirement. So Doug Collins of Georgia, ranking member on the House Judiciary Committee, it was beautiful. He called out No Nadler and flopped the paper over so we could see Jerry Nadler's signature on the subpoena. It violated the law. So Nadler starts out the day violating the law. And then Lewandowski owned him. Absolutely owned him. He was like the ringmaster in a cage, except instead of being surrounded by lions and tigers, he was surrounded by kitty cats. You know, he had the chair and he had the whip and he was cracking the whip and he was pushing him off with the chair. But they weren't lions and tigers that were going to kill him. They were little tiny kitty cats. Because these people are pathetic. He owned the hangry hippo. You can ask me a question or you can just have a conversation with yourself. And then when she finally finishes, after even Nadler was trying to shut her down because she'd so far exceeded her time, the gentlelady will suspend, the gentlelady will suspend. She finally shuts her gob, and Nadler says, the witness may answer the question. And Corey comes back with, there wasn't a question in there, it was a rant. He was an absolute hard-ass boss from beginning to end. And the Republicans did a great job of showing how the Judiciary Committee Democrats are not only wasting time, not only wasting resources, but they are actually abrogating their duties as members of the Judiciary Committee. Collins laid out all the things that were within the purview of the Judiciary Committee. Immigration, judges, all sorts of things. They're not doing any of them. They're doing this, what, we've got an investigation. You know, we're gonna change the rules. Halfway through the Congress, we're gonna change the rules. Oh, and then today we're gonna change the rules again. We're under the new rules. This was Collins. This was my favorite line from Collins. So we're under the new rules now. He says with his hands, we're under the new rules now, which are exactly the same as the old rules before they changed the rules to the new rules. But these are the new rules. The only thing that's different is the packaging. Why these people are so enamored of packaging is because they can't sell the product. Well, there's actually no product to sell. Meanwhile, Humpty Lumpty's sitting there looking like 30 pounds of shite in a 5-pound bag and totally flustered. Lewandowski gets him off his game from the start. On the Mueller report, it says that, could you provide me a page number, Mr. Chairman? You don't have a copy? No, sir, I don't have a copy. So then they had to go get Lewandowski a copy. And then Humpty Lumpty didn't have a copy himself. And he just was made to look like a fool. If you haven't seen any of the hearing, or if you came in late, or if you only saw excerpts, go onto YouTube, find the full 6-hour video under C-SPAN, and just watch the first 15 minutes. You won't believe it. It's like the clown car comes in, and then the clowns just keep coming out. It's unbelievable. We've got Lewandowski doesn't have a copy, which was intentional, because why should he come prepared to the hearing? They didn't tell him to bring a copy, so he didn't bring a copy. So then when they start citing the Mueller report, he says, well, I don't have a copy of the Mueller report. So then they had to go get him a copy of the Mueller report. So now Nadler's knocked off his game. And then Lewandowski asked him for a page reference. He goes, well, I don't have it in front of me. Oh, you don't have a copy either, Mr. Chairman? So the whole point is that he was limited to responses that were in the Mueller report. And the White House had sent Lewandowski a letter saying that you are to limit your answers to the metes and bounds of what is contained in the Mueller report. Everything outside of the Mueller report, we're exerting executive privilege. And he would not budge. And they were getting angrier and angrier and angrier because they could not budge him off of that fundamental principle. And he stated the correct legal position. It's not my privilege. Representative, I'm not asserting the privilege. This is not my privilege. I am bound to confine my answers to the limits of what's in the Mueller report. If it's in the Mueller report, we can talk about it. If it's not in the Mueller report, we can't talk about it. That's not me. That's the president. If you don't like it, go talk to Big Bad Don. It was fatback. And then, all of a sudden, we've got Democrats caring about graffiti. He's defacing federal property. One of the workers building the fence, the wall, said, Mr. President, will you sign this section of wall? And he said, sure. And he whips out a Sharpie and he signs it, Donald Trump, as big as can be. And just like that, Democrats became concerned about graffiti. And they're saying that he committed a crime by defacing public property. And, you know, this is the mentality of these people. Trump committed a crime, he defaced public property! You know, for signing a section of the wall. Meanwhile, everybody in normal America is saying, hell yeah! It's gotten so bad for the Democrats. Let me tell you how bad it's gotten for the Democrats. It has gotten so bad for the Democrats that CNN, Clinton News Network, went up to Minnesota. This is how bad it's gotten for the Democrats. This just makes me giddy. You know, we got Jenna Freeney, we got Brandon Strzok with the walkaway movement. Jenna Freeney used to be a Democrat, and she saw the light, and she's walked away, and she's doing a great job getting people to wake up and realize that they're not Democrats anymore, that the Democrat Party has abandoned them. So CNN goes into this Minnesota town, and they're talking to the mayor, and the mayor's got a deer head mounted on his wall with the big rack, nice, look like a 10-point buck, and it's got a MAGA hat on. Democrat mayor in Minnesota has a MAGA hat on the deer head that's mounted on his wall. He was none too happy with Beto saying, hell yeah, we're going to come get your AR-15s. Oh yeah? Who's going to do that, Bobby O'Dork? Thank you for reminding everybody why we have a Second Amendment, so we don't end up like Australia. And they're talking about federal gun buyback. Well, the government can't buy back anything that it didn't sell in the first place, and the government is not in the business of selling firearms. So it's not a gun buyback, it's a gun bribe back. Okay? That's a term I just made up just now. I haven't heard it before. Maybe somebody else has been using it, but I just coined it right here. That's how it happens here on Patriot Uprising. It is now known as a federal gun bribe back. They're paying money for you to voluntarily have your weapons confiscated. Well, guess what? It ain't ever going to happen, Beto. You've got a Democrat mayor in Minnesota who's got a deer head mounted on his office wall wearing a MAGA hat. Why the guy's still a Democrat, I don't know. I think he might be running as a Republican next time. Oh, and then they asked him about incest Omar. Yeah, he's not a fan. So I think, I've been saying it for 2 years now, the Democrat Party is in severe danger of going the way of the Whigs. And if you don't know what I mean by going the way of the Whigs, look up Whig Party and you'll figure it out. It is just a glorious time to be alive. And it's global. Okay, this is a global phenomenon. We've got people in England, Canada, Sweden, Denmark saying, yeah, when you're done with President Trump, can you send him over here? Could we borrow him for like a couple years? Bibi. They've changed the law now in Israel so that they're trying to change the law so that the sitting prime minister can be accused of corruption. The liberals over there are going splody head over Bibi because he took gifts from foreign heads of state, like small gifts, like that heads of state traditionally exchange. Like if you see President Trump and pick a world leader, like the Prime Minister of Australia who's here tonight. And by the way, kudos to Melania for having the state dinner out in the Rose Garden tonight. How elegant is that on a beautiful September night in Washington when the humidity's gone, beautiful starry sky. You know, just everything about the Trumps in the White House has been absolutely swell again. And they, you know, the Democrats are pining for the days of my two dads. Unbelievable. And all of a sudden they're concerned about golf time. And all of a sudden they're concerned about travel expense. And, you know, they are so nakedly transparent in their duplicity, in their hypocrisy. It's on display for everybody to see. You don't have to be a 5-year-old kid to say, the emperor's got no clothes. I mean, it is right there on display. They didn't hide their crazy in the attic. They've got it out on the veranda for all the world to see. And it's, quite frankly, it's a beautiful thing. So, wanted to show you tonight. I just got this today. A Deplorable Dude jacket. Nice embroidered patch on a beautiful Port Authority nylon jacket with a jersey lining. It's got a hood. You know, perfect autumn jacket. Got the Velcro closures at the sleeves. So I got that for the trade show. And I've also got these really nice polo shirts because we wanted to look good there. Embroidered polo shirts. These are on the store now. So if you need some autumn clothes, if you need a nice autumn jacket with the Deplorable or the Deplorable Dude logo, you can find them there. www.deplorablefragrances.com. Laura and I are 2 weeks out. We've been absolutely slammed trying to get everything ready for the trade show. We're very excited, very proud to have been selected and to be there with the great companies that are going to be there with us. Moms for Trump are going to be there. Women for Trump and Moms for America. The Deplorable Choir is going to be there. The opening night concert for the exhibitors is going to be Big and Rich and Cowboy Troy and Ted Nugent. That's going to be off the hook. We're going to be taking you with us along the way. I'm going to be doing videos from there. I'm hoping to be able to do a lot of media. There's a whole media row there. Hopefully Fox News will notice us finally. That's, you know, if we sell anything at the trade show, that's going to be bonus. The real reason we're going there is to be noticed. We've got a market of 63 million people. And all of you folks who have tried our products and who love them know that we're trying to bring great quality at reasonable prices. And we just need more of Trump Nation to know about us because I think we can have an awful lot of fun. I've got a friend in Massachusetts who says she just loves wearing her Deplorable, and all her Democrat friends say, oh my gosh, you smell so good. What is that? It's Deplorable. And they go splody head. It's just, you know, it's just another way for us to have a lot of fun. Wanted to leave, you know, as good as this week was, with everything that happened, Ed Buck finally got arrested. I mean, seriously, how many guys had to die in Ed Buck's house before Ed Buck finally got arrested? And did you see him at his arraignment? I think that they're right, that Ed Buck is a meth head and is going through withdrawal. Because he does not look like the guy in the photos from 3 or 4 years ago. He looks like he's been hitting the meth pipe pretty hard. And that sound you heard from Capitol Hill was Shifty Schifferbrain shifting his pants. Because Schiff is up to his eyeballs in Ed Buck. Here's how bad it is. Here's how bad Ed Buck's situation is. And United Spot did another one of their great videos. I posted it on the Patriot Uprising page. If you haven't seen it, it's absolutely hysterical. But here's how bad Ed Buck's situation is. Not only is Las Vegas not setting odds on whether he'll make it to trial, they're not even taking wagers. You cannot bet on whether Ed Buck will make it to trial alive or not. After they're not taking any of that action, that's a sucker bet. I mean, as it is, it would be like, you know, the odds would be 1 to 7, right? So you bet $100. You have to bet. You'd have to bet $700 to win $100, right? So if you bet $700, you'll get paid back $800. You can win $100 if you risk $700. You know, those are the odds that Ed was looking at. But Vegas said, yeah, no, that's still, can't do it. Can't price that bet. Because we all know he's going to be dead before he gets to trial. And that right there is the problem with the justice system in this country. We've got to make sure that they start being held to the rule of law. Said it many times, the president is facing 3 challenges to his reelection. The first is if he caves on 2A and signs any red flag law. He signs a red flag law, you can guarantee that he will lose next year, okay? Because all the 2A people will stay home. So he can't cave on 2A. The budget, he's got to hold Congress's feet to the fire and make them pass a budget. No more of these continuing resolutions. The debt is absolutely out of control. Yes, the economy has grown, and yes, tax revenues have grown, but we still haven't eaten away at the debt. The debt keeps growing, and that has to be reversed. We have to not, you know, in Washington is the only place, in Democrat thinking is the only place where a decrease in the rate of increase is called an unconscionable cut. So if you're making $1 this year, if your allowance is $1, and next year, I say your allowance is going to be $1.25, and I only give you $1.10 come next year. You know, I wanted to be able to give you $1.25, but I can only afford $1.10. Do they look at it as, oh, I got 10 cents more this year per week? No. They look at it as, I got 15 cents stolen out of my pocket. Yeah, no, you never had the 15 cents in your pocket, Sparky. But that's the way Democrats think, because they believe it's their money and you're only entitled to keep a little portion of it. They honestly believe that the tax money belongs to them, that all the money belongs to them, and that they graciously allow you to have some for your own personal needs. The problem with government, and this is great, they showed Humpty Lumpty at the parade, you know, with his belt cockeyed and up to his rib cage and his tie, and, you know, just looking like an absolute disaster like he is. And it said, it was the greatest caption of all time. The problem isn't that taxes are too low. The problem is that the government is overfed. And with that, I couldn't put it better myself. I will leave you to enjoy your weekend. I hope you're out having fun. I hope the weather's good where you are. Prayers for the people in Houston who, you know, all of a sudden, boom, literally in about 2 hours, a tropical storm popped up in the Gulf. It's not like it started off of Africa like they usually do and they tracked it through. No, this thing just popped up, became a tropical storm, and dumped 2 feet of water on Houston. Houston, in some places, I've heard reports that the flooding is worse than it was during Harvey. So prayers for the people in Houston. But again, by the same token, Flooding in Houston in September? Go figure. That's like, that would be like me complaining about snow in February up here in the snowiest city in the USA, right? So, you make decisions. You're not forced to live there. If you don't like the weather, move. We got 50 beautiful states. A lot of them have great weather. All right, and I hope it's great weather where you are. I hope you have some fun this weekend. Until next time, God bless you. God bless these United States. Keep fighting the good fight.